Hi, this is Saif here. Today we would be demonstrating one good interview scenario. This is a self-join. So in Informatica, we have a transformation, joiner transformation. So it has only equality operator and we can achieve normal join, full outer join, master outer and detail outer. So in interviews, the questions are asked is like how we will achieve a self join functionality or maybe a minus functionality. So minus functionality I'll demonstrate in a later video, but in this video I would be focusing on self join. Now the scenario is I want to achieve self join via joiner transformation, as well as I want to display how many employees are reporting to manager. So if you'll see, this is the data which is coming from my source. So if you'll see, the first two records are reporting to manager 7566. So who is 7566? Jones. So if you'll see the count, the number of records is 2, and here the count is showing 2. If you'll see, if you'll move ahead, now these are my 5 employees who are reporting to 7698, and who is 7698? Blake. So if you'll see in the output, the 5 employees and the count is reflecting. So let's try to see how can we achieve this in Informatica. So I've already imported my source and target structures. So if you run this query, there is no data in my target table, and if I'll run this query, so this is the data which is coming from my source. Not this data exactly, but I've just filtered out the query. So to look, so this is the entire data which is coming from the source. Select, I'm sorry. So let's run this query. So this is the entire set of data which is coming from my source. So I just shorten the query to just see whatever things which I am in need of. So I've already imported my source and target structures. Let's start designing the mapping. Now what I'll do is I'll use a transformation called sorter. Now this is would be sorting on employee number, and there will be one more sorter which would be required on manager employee number. Okay, so there are two sorters. So employee, so this is here. So I'll pick employee number, employee name, and manager. So I'll sort this on this. So manager, e dot manager, and here I'll have, let's pull this over here, and here I will have as employee number and F name. And let's, so this would be manager table. So let's say, so e dot manager equals to m dot employee number. That is okay. Now let's move ahead and let's use a transformation called joiner transformation. So I would be joining on manager and employee number. Let's move ahead, bring in all the ports, and let's go here. Let's go to the properties tab and check mark on sorted input. If you don't check mark on this, so it will not, yes, I'll write the condition at a later stage. So this won't allow me to drag it over here. So that was the purpose I check mark on sorted input property. Now type of join would be normal. So the condition would be, so this is the detail table. So it would be employees manager and employee number. So this looks good to me. So e dot manager equals to m dot employee number. So this is the data. Now what I'll do is I'll use a transformation called expression, and here it would be, let's say, manager kind of. Now I'll I'll take all the columns. So this is employee number, and let's say this is e name. Let's say this is employee name. This is manager employee number, and this is manager e name. just wanted to do some things. Okay, so now this will go over here. Now I need to have a count. So what I'll do is I'll import this source structure again because I need to take account of my stuff. So what I'll do is I'll go over here, I'll create an aggregator transformation, and let's count the manager. So where is my manager? Yeah. So let's drag this, double click over here. Let's copy this and let's paste this, and I have to do a group by on this. So output port, and this would be count of manager or count of employee number also you can say, to be precise. So let's say count and manager. So this is done. Now I need to join these two sources. So I'll use one more joiner transformation, and here the join would be on my manager and manager employee number. Kind. Let's see if something error comes, and we'll tackle that. Now this. So let's minimize this. Let's take this a bit over here, and let's take this over here. So I'll have my target. Okay. So I'll have I'll have all the columns. So all the columns are coming over here, and these two columns will be coming over here. So that is fine. So go to the property. So the condition would be, so my manager employee number and manager number. So it would be manager employee number and manager. Yeah, and the properties should be normal join. Just say okay. From here, employee number, e name, manager employee number, and manager e name. This will go over here, and the count will go over here. Let's save this mapping and check your mapping is valid or not. Yes, my mapping is valid. Let's copy the mapping name. Let's go to the workflow. Let's connect to the repository first. Let's go to my YouTube videos and let's create a new workflow. So the naming convention, and let's create a task out of it, which is a session. Now self join. Let's link this. Let's go to my source. So this is the source which is coming from my staging schema, and even this is coming from my staging schema. Okay, so target is in my star schema. Change bulk to normal. I'm just inserting the data, no update, no delete, and truncate if there is any data. Let's say okay, save this, and let's execute the workflow. So this is getting executed, and let's go over here. So I'll have my statistics in place. So if you'll see, 20 records have been written and 19 records have been read. So 20 records from each source has been read and 19 records. So let's see. So what is the data? So this was the data set which is coming from my source, and it will go to my target table, and let's execute this query. So if you'll see, 7788, and the first two records, if you see, Scott and Ford are reporting to Jones, and that's why. So the count of the employees is 2. If you'll go to the second set, these are the employees: Ellen, Ward, Martin, Turner, James. These are reporting to Blake. That is their manager, and the number of employees are 5. That's why 5 count is there. Same way, Saf is reporting to Clark, and Miller is also reporting to Clark. So I have 6 records of Saf and 1 record of Miller. So total 7 employees are reporting to Clark. That's why 7 count. So this is it. So that's what we were expecting. So this was the data set from my source. So we achieved a self join. That was pretty easy, and that was one more tricky part which I involved. So this won't be asked in interview, but mainly the question would be how to achieve a self join via joiner transformation. Just to tweak it and make it a bit complex, what I did is I added this part that how many employees are reporting to manager. So this was the data set from source, and this is the data set in my target. So this is what we have achieved in this. So that's it for this video and for this tutorial of interview informatica scenario. If you have any questions or any trainings which you read for online or classroom trainings in informatica 9.x, do reach at smithy at gmail.com. And also, if you face any difficulties in informatica or sql, do drop me an email with your difficulty and or scenario which you need to achieve. I'll work on it and reply with you an email. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and if you like this video, so subscribe to my channel and hit a like button and share this video with your friends. Thanking you. This is Saif signing off from this tutorial. Stay tuned for the next tutorial. Thank you. Take care.